What's going on, gamers? How's everybody doing? So, it seems like PlayStation 5 sales skyrocketed right before the price hike, which kind of makes sense to an extent. But it gets interesting because it's not just that, but what did they do compared to last year? And did this make gamers panic? I believe so. Because if we look at what Genki just said, and there's other posts too, it comes from the official source of MPD, Matt Piscatella. It says PlayStation 5 hardware sales in the US reached a 2026 high in unit and dollar sales during the week ending April 4th. Because remember, the price hike went up on the 2nd. So we know that spike hit big time. Then we're going to talk about Crimson Desert sales too, which are also impressive that they deserve because, those guys are amazing. And I like how they're just taking care of problems as quick as possible, revealing how lazy developers are, right? So like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into this. It says just before the PS5 price was increased, that happened. Overall spending on video game hardware for that week nearly doubled compared to the same week a year ago in the United States, which is where we're at, you know what I mean? And that's a huge territory for Sony outside of Europe. Japan, yeah, they hit a brick wall, but they just want to go for the Japanese models only. We saw how Japan, replied to that. They're just going to wait anyways, and that's Nintendo land. But over here in Western society in the United States, North America, people rushed in big time. Because when you think about North America, it's like, you know what? Yeah, they're looking forward to GTA. They're looking forward to Sorrows. They're looking forward to getting those PSSR 2 enhancements. So we know the pros were selling out. And they're just looking forward to getting a PlayStation 5 just in general to be able to get in that catalog. Even if you're getting a base, right? The Plus has so much games on there if you don't want to spend a lot of money after getting one. So this says a lot. Going down here says Sony told them to jump and the consumer asked how high. Well, it's either you get one or you have to deal with that ridiculous price for the Pro model later. People are going to want to see if the Pro is capable of doing GTA 6 at 60 frames per second. I think that is something that no matter what, if they're able to pull that off, people are going to go buy Pros just because of that. And I think some people are panicking and saying, man, you know what? I think there's going to at least be a VRR 40 FPS performance mode for GTA 6 with the PS5 Pro PSSR 2 aspect. You can at least say 40 frames is happening no matter what. But I think with Rockstar, with how much money they have, they're going to pull it off. I think they're going to be able to make that 60 frames per second happen on a PS5 Pro. And at that time in the world, that's going to be the only place where you can get it at. And everybody else is going to be looking at the 30 frames. But even in general, GTA is going to sell out because you think people cared about that back then when they weren't even thinking about that when Vice City came out? Right? When San Andreas came out, it didn't really matter. They just wanted to get that experience. When GTA 4 or 5 came out, you think GTA 5 was running 60 frames? You know what console GTA 5 launched on? Because it's been on multiple generations. People didn't care. It was still selling like hotcakes because you're still able to get that experience. And Rockstar is going to solidify that 30 frames per second. They may even have a VR mode to go a little bit past that on base consoles. You never know, guys, for performance mode. But I think with the Pro, it's a possibility that they'll be able to get it at least around 60. Maybe it may not hold it, but remember, they got the money to optimize their engine like crazy. So when you think about all the exclusives that Sony are having now and telling people that it is not going to PC now, that drives people to think about getting a PlayStation 5 for that deal ahead of time because you're not going to be able to get those games. And then you got all those other games coming around the corner too, like next year, the year after that, and for PS6. So numbers will definitely drop next month. I would be shocked if they stayed the same or increased. That's the thing. This is the thing that we want to see more than anything. This is kind of expected. But what is going to happen for US for all of April? I hope he gives us a result for next week because usually when it comes to Matt, it's more about, oh, we can wait a whole month and then we'll give it to you next month so you can get the whole month. He gave like a weekly update. Yeah, let us know next week how things are going with the PlayStation 5 sales and the PS5 Pro sales. I will be interested to see how things are going to be. I know Sony has Sorrows coming around the corner, but that's not going to be something that's going to sell them millions of consoles. You know what I mean? They need another good state of play. Need to solidify the rest of 2026 and let people know what's going on. We know they're going to get GTA marketing. It's going to be advertised all over the place. And no matter what, people are going to rush out like hordes and they're going to go get that game. And there's nothing you can do about that. So this guy says, just saying, we ain't sold a PlayStation 5 since the price went up, LOL. First time ever we did not sell 10 a day. Yeah, because like I said before, the difference between Sony's position, because Microsoft's Xboxes did not sell out before they did the price hike. They didn't give people enough time to even try that strategy. And they waited. You should have waited in the GTA year, right? They didn't even do that. No, it was like almost an immediately increase. It's like, why didn't you give people enough time? They could have just sold some, right? They've made too many mistakes. Well, Sony doesn't make those mistakes. They were giving people a time and a window, knowing PSSR 2 just dropped and that GTA is coming out this year as well. I'm like, sorry, you're going to have to get this before GTA. There's some strategy that's going on to that. Not that I agree, but I'm just saying you can kind of see that. So the thing with Xbox, though, like I was saying, is they didn't sell out when they announced their price tag. People didn't even rush in like that because they didn't care. Probably some people just want the PC or PlayStation because you could get their games anywhere, so it doesn't really matter, right? So this guy says, yeah, we ain't sold a PS5 since prices went up. First time ever, we did not sell 10 a day. Interesting stuff. I can't wait to see what the results are. We saw what happened with Japan. I wonder how much it will tank due to the price increase. Honestly, as a PlayStation fan, I hope it nosedives and Sony rethinks the strategy. I don't blame you on that. Okay, so guys, going to next is highlighting Crimson Desert developers, man. These guys really deserve this. You see right here, 4 million copies have sold for Crimson Desert. Officially sold 4 million copies today, not shipped, sold. Congrats to the team, Crimson Desert. Yeah, amazing. These guys deserved it. I can tell you what, when this game first came out, a lot of people were complaining about the controls, right? Like that was the thing. It was like, yeah, you know what? This is so clunky. I don't know if I can do this. It feels like an MMO and it feels like, you know, I can't just get comfortable with it. Of course, I like the visuals, and they listened and they replied real quick. And look how fast they fixed it. And ever since then, they have been dropping update after update after update, consistently making this game better at a speed rate that you wish Ubisoft would do their games and other open world developers or developers that would take forever. Where it's like, dude, it's still been 4 or 5 months. Why are these problems still here? These guys get on it immediately, lightning speed, coming at the speed of light like Sonic, right? Coming in and saying, oh, here's the next hotfix, here's the next update. And they're doing whatever it takes to get this game to work and be better as fast as possible. And they're working nonstop and crunching. You can tell they're doing this and they're getting the results. PC gamers are supporting it. Xbox gamers to an extent are supporting it. And PlayStation for sure is supporting it along with PC gamers. You know, when I look at this game, I told people too, I said when this game first came out, I said, this is the type of game that when you come back to this game 3 months later, it's going to be way better. When you come back to it 4 or 5 months later, it's going to be better. It's a game that's going to keep on improving more and more. And there's a lot of freedom in this game. And not only just freedom, but the idea of saying that I'm going to show you how optimization is. Because this game looks better than almost any game you could imagine lately, right? And it's massively bigger than all these other games. And you're able to get 60 frames per second on base consoles. It literally exposes the industry for how lazy it's been. And once again, another game that came out that embarrassed Unreal Engine 5. And you can't say it hasn't. Because when you really think about the games Unreal Engine 5 was having problems with, and then you look at this game, Crimson Desert, it's smoking it. Embarrassing it. Ghost of Yotei did the same thing. 1800p ray tracing, 16 frames per second, upscaled to 4K. And that was before PSSR 2 came out. Not that it boosted frames or anything like that or anything. Not like that, but it was the idea of, damn, this game is doing that. And it looks better than all those games. Ghost of Yotei looks phenomenal. Crimson Desert looks phenomenal. Resident Evil Requiem looks phenomenal. And you're getting 60 frames per second on the Switch 2. Pragmata looks phenomenal. And you're getting 60 frames per second on the Switch 2. So you've seen all these engines come out that are not Unreal Engine 5. And then developers that are coming out that are telling you, no, you can optimize things very well. And they got it running on the Series S. So yeah, congratulations to them. 4 million copies sold. Go back to say, you see what that says? Within 2 weeks, 4 million copies sold. It's on fire. This game could end up hitting 10 million sales in less than a year. I'm very stoked because this just lets you know that the gaming industry, meaning gamers in the gaming industry, really want games like this. Good open world games that are really innovative and amazing. Not just your generic your package or your dog chasing a marker on the screen, and once you chase it all down, you're done. That's not what Crimson Desert is. It has true open world freedom and design. It does have that amazing MMO element, but they have managed over time to morph it to where it feels like an epic single player game as well. And they might even be talking about adding in possibly co-op PvP and all sorts of stuff, because these are the guys that did Black Desert Online. So yeah, congratulations to them. Like I said, if you go to these guys' page, I'm telling you right now, they drop a lot of updates. April 10th, and then, you know, hotfix the next day. So here's the hotfix real quick. It's going out across all platforms. Please check out the patch notes, giving you the patch notes and everything. You see 132K likes right there. People are right on it. And if you scroll down their page, here it is, an update April 10th, right? They're just on it. And they're coming very quick, and they're giving you dev updates and everything. You kind of like that because it's like they're taking everything serious, and they know what type of game they have on their hands here. It's like, yeah, you go down their page, you go to other people's page, they're rolling out patches quick. Within 1 week, they had out like 4 patches and hotfixes. So it's like, yeah, congratulations. This game is doing a very good job. I hope to see this game possibly get in the Game of the Year category awards. Not based off of the way that it launched, but that you need to judge a game by the improvements and how fast they've made it as well. It shouldn't be hit with, oh, because it launched with this meta. That's not reflecting the game right now. That's why I don't agree with certain metas. But if you're coming out doing well, that's amazing. But there are certain games that if you go back to them, it's not at the same meta that it launched. Definitely games that have a lot of patches. This game is one of those games already in less than a month, right? Not even been a month. And it's like, look at the improvements they already made. So we have to look at Crimson Desert as the state that it is right now, the impact that it's having on the gaming industry, the optimization, the engine, the open world freedom, the community feedback, and listening to the players. That type of stuff is important. So I want you guys to let me know what you think about this game selling that much. What do you think about PlayStation selling out? And what do you think about the sales that are coming around the corner for US and Europe worldwide? Do you think it's going to drop? I think there's definitely going to be a drop. And Sony got the window that they needed, though, because if you think about what they did in the holidays, they kind of made up for all these windows that are around the corner. And GTA is going to still, do numbers for them, and they can still do sales in the future, and they still have a lot of games coming out, and they're looking well, and they're getting all those Xbox games. So PlayStation's looking very well so far. Like I said, the only things that we could say, obviously, that we can't agree with is the prices going up and the Blue Point shutdown. Other than that, hey, all is well. Definitely if you got one ahead of time, because 90% of PlayStation sales are pretty much over with. Sony already won. This is just the close off, the final curtain for PS5 in the next year plus, or year and a half, you could say, something like that. It's not like they're like, oh, we only have 40, 50 million sales, and we still got like more than half the generation to go. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you already hit your 90-something million already. So you can kind of get away with that, and they know that with the GTA 6 launch. So yeah, later guys, peace out. Once again, congratulations to these guys. Pearl Abyss is doing an excellent job. Hopefully y'all are enjoying Crimson Desert. We got Pragmata around the corner with Saros. Gaming is good when it comes to video games. Later y'all.